Welcome to the call. Good morning to you.
Morning.
All right, so it is 10 o'clock and we will get started, everyone. Welcome and welcome and welcome. Please go into chat. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Give Reza some hype, give him some love. He's here this morning and he's going to give us an amazing, amazing training. So everyone, help me to welcome Reza Mesgarlou from Ottawa, Canada, who joined Global Wealth Trade in 2005, but didn't really take action and did anything with the business for over 3 years. He decided he needed to get out of the government manager job in 2008 so he could have time freedom with his children. He took a good look at his GWT business that had grown over 3 years without any effort on his part to almost 3,000 members at 7.5 million in volume. In 6 months, he had doubled his government manager income and retired from his job and helped 4 others to retire also. His career earnings exceed 3.2 million. He is the top 5-figure monthly income earner in the entire company, making more in a month than some people do in a year, earning millions in 27 months. Ladies and gentlemen, help me to welcome our top earner, top leader from Ottawa, Canada, Reza Mesgarlou. Reza, it's all yours. Please take it over.
Thank you so very much, Drusilla. Good morning to everyone. Good afternoon. Good evening. Drusilla, do you have the slides? Because I'm trying to share my screen, but I cannot. So not sure if you have the PowerPoint.
Yes, I do. And give me one moment. I will bring that up.
Beautiful. Awesome. So that makes my life even easier. Okay.
Okay. Perfect. Okay, Reza, if you want to go ahead, and I'll just bring up the PowerPoint. I just need to out of my screen. And
beautiful. Thank you. Well, you know, it's going to be jam-packed with value and pointers, which we kind of gave you an overview last Saturday. And it's about upward of around 50 points that I'm going to cover. And these points are things that I personally encountered, things I personally experienced, witnessed, a lot of mistakes that we made and we learned from. Some of the things, mistakes others made at, we saw what happened and we learned from. One thing that I want to really point on is not just, Opulence in particular, but how to train, develop and sustain that high performance mentality. High performance mentality means it's performing at its peak, at its best. I don't know what's the best, but we condition our mind, we train our mind, and constantly on an ongoing basis, we keep it in this tip-top shape. It's just like going to the gym, just like exercising, or if you want to be mastering or be at the top of your game in whatever you do. It's the same idea. It's an ongoing process. It's not a one-time deal. But you know what? This is what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about a lot of little things, a lot of bigger things. And most importantly, what I'm going to share with you is what is the common denominator amongst the top performers in the world, all the successful individuals in the world. I'm not talking a one-time successful individual, but folks who've been successful throughout their life. It doesn't mean they did not fail. It doesn't mean they did not make mistakes or things didn't go against them. As a matter of fact, there's more things gone wrong for them. They have had more disappointments, if you want to put it that way, than anyone else who's not successful. I tell you that right now. This is something that I've seen, and I'm going to talk about a lot of little things that helped me develop, helped me, to be successful. And also, I'm going to talk about the things that actually didn't help me so much. And they were mostly my fault. They were mostly my fault of the things that did not help me throughout the years. As a matter of fact, made me go backwards in some cases. And these are the things that, we often don't talk about. Maybe we don't hear about, maybe we don't like to hear about them. We just like to hear a lot of good things. But you know what? You got to go through the bad things to reach those good things, right? So yeah, we're going to talk about a lot of different things. I spent about, I don't know, almost 8 weeks, 7.5 weeks working on this training. I was sitting down and I was thinking to myself, what can I present to my team, to my Opulence family, or even people who are not even in Opulence that would be on this call. You know, maybe they're considering being in this business, or maybe not. Maybe just they just wanted to, hear this training and see, what they can pick out of it and how they can benefit from it. So this is where I'm going to share everything with you. So I'm hoping, and I highly recommend, I want you to really take this thing seriously. Do not be casual with your business. I'm assuming you got your favorite beverage. Okay. Assume you got your favorite beverage. Assume you got plenty of paper, plenty of ink, and undivided attention to what I'm going to share with you. And these are the notes that you're going to be referring to for the for a long time. Let's put it this way. I have notes that I'm not the most organized individual, but thank God, because I'm not being organized, some of the things you do not throw out that I've had since I started my career, since I started getting trained, since I'm talking like over 32 years ago, right? I was barely out of high school. And these are the things that you want to keep referring to. Now, no doubt at Opulence, we have absolutely the best training, in-house training, period. Why? Because we have one of the top two trainers in the world, who's also a CEO, who's got vast knowledge, and he's got amazing corporate staff, our vice president, and our managers, and our Danielle, our corporate trainer, that they combine the knowledge and they bring the best to you. So we have no shortage of that. But the point I'm trying to make is it's very important that you take notes and keep these notes and study these notes, right? First step, attend this meeting. Second one, take notes, pay attention. Okay. Don't be having the TV on, having a conversation. I know you do. Some of you do. You forget to mute yourself when we have some webinars that you by mistake become unmuted, and you're not even in the like you have the webinar on. Let's not make that the case, guys. It's very important, right? We don't want to be casual with things if we want to be successful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you point for point, and towards the end of the call, maybe the last 10 minutes, Drusilla, we can take some questions. If you see questions, I mean, you can see what's going on. If there are a lot of questions, or there's some questions, or whatever it is, time it accordingly so we can answer some of these questions. Okay. So here we go, guys. I'm going to share with you. Like I said, I sat down and I thought about when I got started. I'm not talking Opulence. I'm talking in this industry. I come from a traditional business. I'm talking 32 years ago. I was barely out of high school, entrepreneur, looking for the best way forward in life so I can optimize my time and my future, right? So this is what I'm going to share with you. This is Reza's experience from pretty much when he stepped into this industry. Okay, so first thing I remember this. This goes way back. Okay, this goes way back, and uh, I remember even before this industry. I'm talking about when we were little kids. I was like, I don't know how old I was, 7, 8, 9 years old. I don't remember, but I was quite young, and I'd be looking at cars. That goes back to my dad because he was a car guy as well. I'd be looking at cars. I remember Porsche 911. Porsche was around, and the Porsche's 911. I was looking at them, and I'm like, man, I want one of them. Most people didn't know what Porsche was. Here was this 8, 9 year old, be pointing out, even had the toy cars. We still do, as a matter of fact, thanks to mom, that she kept them all, right? And I'd be saying, I want a Porsche 911. And, I remember my mother saying clearly, because she was the black sheep in the family, in her own family, very conservative, religious family. And here's my mom, who went to, who went the distance in a country that is not so open to women reaching top positions. So this is what she used to tell us was, if they make it, whatever that may be, if it's a mansion, if it's a car, if it's a ship, anything that is out there, if they make it, you go get it. Don't ever just dream about it. Go get it, and don't worry about. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. Don't worry. Don't think about, well, will I be able to pay for it? Think about ways of how you're going to be able to pay for it. but don't limit your mind from just dreaming about it and not making things happen. So yes, you can dream. Yes, you can gawk and go over things and like wow, wow, wow. But you know what? Plant it there and think about getting it. When of course you're of age. I was too young to get a Porsche, but the point she was making was no one out there is more special than you. That they should have it and you shouldn't. So if you want it, you know what? You go get it and think about how you're going to pay for it. Don't think, will I be able to pay for it? No, get it and find ways to pay for it, right? Now, this is the thing that we practice as well. Like when we started to uh, getting into the industry, I remember clearly, right? And basically, this is something that's common amongst all super successful people, and that is practicing success before they're successful. I don't see the slides there, Drusilla. Do you have the slides? Do you have the PowerPoint?
Yes, I'm sharing right now. You're not.
Are you? I
You're
see.
yeah.
I'm seeing the head office. I don't know
Okay,
why.
okay, so I can switch on the slide that you want. Which one would you like?
Well, the one that's number one, practice before you're successful. You're still going on a company's PowerPoint, which is our company's vision, so on and so forth. It's remains. That's a company product overview. So that's the wrong PowerPoint.
Okay, I'll go to the business.
No, it's not this is not the PowerPoint we're using. We're using the top 50 points. I wondered if you had it.
No, Reza, sorry.
You don't
I
have
did.
it. Okay.
We're asking about this one. Yes, sorry about that.
No. So can you allow me to share my screen?
Yes.
It says host disabled participant screen sharing.
Okay, I'm going to allow you to share. I'm going to stop sharing.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Okay, so I've allowed you.
Okay. So anyways, I'm going to keep going till I am able to share my screen because right now I still can't. So anyways, one of the things was practice success before you're successful. Now, how do you exactly do that? Well, you eat, breathe, and sleep, and dream, and think, and practice success. How do you do that again? Well, I remember when we were brand new. Well, this is what was done to us. This is what was done to us when I was entering my first company in MLM, multi-level, direct sell, network market, whatever you like to call them, right? Was that we had a traditional business. We had a restaurant business that pretty much we worked every single day, long hours. And the story of working from home in your mansion, in this big house with your dream cars, at the comfort of your own home or wherever you choose to work from and have all these great things, was really what appealed to us. And and we were told, okay, let me see. There we go. Okay, perfect, perfect, perfect. Share. Now, let me see. Where are we? Okay. No, there we go. Okay. All right, there we go. View as present. Awesome. There we go. Okay. So practice success before you're successful, right? Basically, allow your mind to focus on being successful. How do you do that? I remember we were told about an individual that lives in the 7,000 square foot mansion in Mississauga, Ontario, having all these hot cars and basically living a dream. So what we did was we actually went there. We went to his home in Mississauga and we started looking at these things. That was practicing our mind. I was thinking like, wow, look at this guy, Ty Domi, which was the hottest NHL player at the time, even though he was a goon. living the next door in the backyard asking for steaks, and somebody else living down there, and this guy owns this, and this guy owns corral, and this guy. So what we used to do was basically um, load up the cars. A whole bunch of us hit a road trip, right? And we used to go to areas that was for elite, looking at mansions. I remember going looking at mansions where there was an open house. We used to go into these open houses, just taking a walk through. The salespeople, the salesman or woman be looking at us and asking us what is it we're looking for, and so on and so forth. I said, you know what, we're just looking, and we be going through all this mansion, be seeing stuff that we saw in the movies, literally. We'd be going to the car dealership. I remember, including our own CEO Ramit, he used to go to dealerships. And this was this two couple of young guys, not even hit 20 yet, and they're walking into this dealership, looking at these big cars. And I remember some of the salespeople asking, "Is this for your mom and dad? Are they coming? Your mom and dad?" No, no, it's actually for us, right? Even though we could not afford it at the time, but I was telling them, "This is for us." They kind of like, some of them pay you the attention, some of them just, oh, okay, and some of them, go out of the way to treat you as an adult. Some would actually infuriate you by saying, well, sorry, you can't touch the cars, or you can't see the cars, or you can't sit in the, I mean, depends, right? Depends on how they perceived us and how they treated us. The ones that didn't treat us so kindly fueled me even more. It made me focus, dream about the day that I'm going to come there and not buy from him. I remember dreaming about that. We used to go to different car dealerships. We used to do absolutely at the best of everything there was. We used to go and we used to dream about it. We used to allow our mind to think, okay, to be conditioned and be ready and envision of what is out there and what is it that we want, and find ways, like mom said, to get them, right? Find ways to pay for them and so on. And I tell you, mind is a powerful thing, because when you condition it that way, okay, things get accomplished, right? I remember mom did the same thing. She went on when she was barely, she was, I don't know how old she was, 18, I think, 18 or 19, getting a house in the most prestigious neighborhood of Tehran. Big money, 4-story high, with appliances that today, I'm talking today, some 50 some odd years later, the appliance today that people look at and like, oh my gosh, you bought these 50 years ago? And you know what? This is where you got to be able to, you know, envision and feed your subconscious mind off that success that you highly desire, right? And even when it goes for dressing, when you're around, you want to make sure, okay, uh, you dress successful. I'm not saying wearing suits, but dress successful. uh, you know, just the way you carry yourself, dress successful, look good. I remember we had a training some years back, and we had all the top leaders in the world every Wednesday taking turn as training the world of network marketing. And these guys were all saying that, one of them I remember was saying, I'm not going to bring up his name, that basically you don't necessarily have to wear a suit, but make sure whatever it is that you're wearing, that you look successful, right? And it didn't necessarily mean go and spend biggest dollars, but you know what, you can buy some nice stuff, whether it's your running shoes, or whether it is your jeans, or whether it is your dress shirt or golf shirt, or look successful. Get your mind conditioned for that big success. Okay. um, Vision boards is another one. I remember back in when I was a kid, I used to take these, I used to value these glossy, high quality pictures of cars, mansions, sometimes all of the above, sometimes no. The car here and a mansion there and a boat here. And, you know, I used to put them on in my room on the wall. I used to put it on the wall as things started to happen and so on. And, you have those, they still do, those picture frames that you feed it a whole bunch of different pictures, and it changes every 30 seconds. It changes every 10 seconds. I don't know. Like, you have a timer on it. So as you're walking around and seeing, you're looking at this electronic photo album or whatever it is, and it shows all the stuff, not necessarily that you're living, but the stuff that you're dreaming about, right? You're feeding your subconscious mind that success and your desirability of having this stuff that you don't have just yet. So that is another thing. Another thing we used to do was, we still do, except since 2020, where the large gatherings were not allowed, was creating a vision board. A vision board is so powerful. It is so powerful, especially for those who have done the vision board, they hung on to those vision boards and they just throw it in the garage, end up in the garbage. You'd be blown away at the stuff that happens throughout that vision board. Okay, I have every single one of my vision boards and I keep updating them. It's time for me to upgrade and update and make a new vision board, right? This is the basically that's the board you get a magazines, different types of high-end magazines. You cut out the stuff that you desire, you place them in an order that you want, and you put it where you can see it. Okay, when during the day, at night, before you go to sleep, in the morning, and when you wake up, you're looking at this vision board, right? That feeds into your mind and gets you uh gets you like puts you in the right, like keeps you in the right frame of mind, and gets you growing in your mind. These are the things that I want, and I'm not going to rest till I get them. So again, picture yourself successful before you're successful. There's a lot of different ways you can do that, but you got to do this on an ongoing basis. It's not over a Saturday training. It's not over once a month of forensic night. No, no, this is something that you do ongoing, right? Make yourself that vision board and practice success before you're successful. Second one, what we must do as individuals is to follow what we're passionate about. Okay, this is this is something that you want to uh, do. I mean, we when we're passionate about something, it's not going to be considered work anymore. If you're passionate about your job, if that's possible. I know I had a job that I actually liked, right? So if you're passionate about work, then love what you're doing. I know people taking less money, taking on a job that they're passionate about, right? It just as a matter of fact, you see it happening yesterday with someone. Okay, be passionate about whatever it is you want to do. Find out what that is, and uh, once you're passionate, it doesn't matter if it's 5 hours a week, 50 hours a week, 100 hours a week, because it doesn't feel like work and you enjoy it. It's something you're passionate about. Trust me, it's different. It's different. So what I do is basically always trying to find with my kids, especially with my kids, because they're developing. The oldest one is 14 now. He acts like, oh man, my gosh, I have to pinch myself that he just turned 14. The stuff that he does, the things that he wants, the things that he says, and the stuff that he blows me away with, because he is, there's three of them, right? But him in particular, not because it's necessarily he's the oldest one, but he's paying attention. He's paying attention every single day. I'm like, when did you hear that? How do you even know about that? It's not a entry level conversation. This is a deep conversation, and he's been listening. He may be around, but he's paying attention. Why? Because he's passionate about success. He's passionate about what he sees, and this is his focus, that he wants to do opulence. And I tell you, he's quite at it right now at the age of 14, right? And he's, so what you want to do is make sure, find out what it is you're passionate about. Is it passionate? Are you passionate about helping people's health? Are you passionate about helping your family's lives, neighbors' lives, your finances, kids' future? Find out what it is that you see in opulence or in anything that you do that you're passionate about, and focus on that. Okay? Focus on that. It is very important that if you are not passionate about something, I tell you something, when you're at a work, when you're at a job that you're not passionate about, what do? Some people, they call in sick when they're not sick. People show up late if they can get away with it. They take longer bathroom breaks. They take longer lunch hour if they can get away with it. They leave earlier. The excuse of weather is bad, so I got to leave a little early if the boss allows, right? They're trying to find a way to put as little time into the work as possible. And we always hear about people saying, you know what? When I leave my job, I leave that behind. I don't want to know nothing about it. I put my 8 hours in the day. I don't want to hear nothing about it. I want to go home with my family, enjoy the night, go to a good sleep, wake up in the morning. Then when I come back here again, I deal with work. I'm committed to putting 8 hours a day, you know, and they just can't wait till they leave. They can't wait till they have a long weekend. They can't wait till, I don't know, because they're not passionate about the job. They're not. So find out. You're already in Opulence. I know we have some folks on this call that may not be on Opulence in our Opulence business yet, but you want to find out within this company or outside this company what it is that you're passionate about. Follow that passion. Okay. Um, basically, this is very crucial to start off anything. Okay. It's very crucial. Now, some people say, well, you know what? the person who spent $2-3 million to open a burger joint, McDonald's or whatever, they're not passionate about McDonald's. Yeah, it's true. They're not passionate about McDonald's. They're passionate about the turnkey operation, passionate about what comes out of it if they can optimize the performance and their folks, the team, the restaurant, the facilities, and they will have the passion, whatever it is that comes through. So there's different ways of looking at it, but this is very, very, very important. We always say, think about why and not how to. How to will show you after, right? We tell folks that come into Opulence, what's important is why you want to do this business, why it is that you're looking for something else, and why you think you can get it over here. How to, we will show you as we go on, right? This is what we talk about. So that's a little bit about that. I'm just going to try to go as fast as we can so we can cover at least 20 points today with some Q&A at the end. So yeah. So next thing is very important is that I used to not understand it, to be honest with you. I used to not understand it. I heard this from the very beginning, even as a child, as when we were kids, that our parents say, you know what, be careful who you hang around with. Oh, I don't want you to hang out with that child. I find myself saying that to my kids. I don't want this guy coming around the house. I don't want this guy for you to hang around with. And I have my reasons. I have my reasons of why, right? Because I don't think it's to the best of interest of my child. So what you want to do is you want to surround yourself, okay, with great people. Now, when I hit the world of business, I remember uh, uh, I heard the saying that someone was saying, I can tell you how much you earn. People that even know me. These are high performance people, important people. They were telling me, I can tell you how much you earn. I'm like, really? It says yes. He goes, you don't have. I'm not even going to. I'm not even going to do that. Do that for yourself in your own head? Take the top 20 people, the 20 people you hang around with, right? And take their income. You make plus or minus 10% of their income, average of their income. I'm like, come again? He says, sit down, write down the names of the people that you hang around the most, right? Whether it's 5 people or 20 people, and how much you think they earn. Your income is 10, at the best 10, plus 10 or minus 10 of the average income. So I had to actually do it. I sat down and actually did it. And it's true. It is so true. Why is it true? Because when I'm hanging around with someone who's constantly talking about, well, I'm not going to drive my car today or this month at all. I'm just going to take public transport because fuel has gone up to $1.50 a liter, right? Or someone else saying, you know what, I'm not going to eat meat. I'm going to reduce it to once a month or once every 2 weeks. It's just so expensive. Or I'm going to go all the way across town, spend 3 hours because I don't know, a certain item is sold for $1 less. That's your time, right? 3 hours of your time and your gas, but yeah, it's $1 less. So when you hang around with folks who think a certain way at a certain level, you automatically become it. Okay? You are who you hang around with. That's simple, guys. I don't mean to offend anyone. As a matter of fact, I'm trying to tone it down, this training, because I don't want people who don't know me be offended. That's just, but I'm trying to do the best I can to deliver the stuff that I've learned the simplest way. right? And this is so true. Okay, you are who you hang around with. That's simple. That's simple. If you hang around with people that make, I don't know, 20, 30, 40, 50,000 a year, I'm talking hang around with, not that you know at a distance, that you put most of your leisure time with, then guess what? Your income is going to be right around that too. You're not going to grow amongst those people. In contrary, when you hang around, I'll give you another example. We have car shows. I love cars, as you know. My kids love cars. Um, Arceo, I mean, he loves cars. His son loves cars, and there are car shows that we go to. Now, there are car shows that we go to and we shine because our cars is like wow, and there are car shows that we go to that we may not be as noticed. Why? Because there are bigger and better cars in that crowd. There are bigger and better cars in that show. You know what I mean? So this is where you can feel extremely great. Well, I've accomplished everything. I own an S-Class Mercedes. Or you show up with the S-Class Mercedes, you look like entry level almost because of the caliber of people who are at that show. And that makes you, I'm not talking necessarily cars, but you understand what I'm saying. You can feel like, hey, you're looking around, everybody else is driving Toyotas. Again, nothing wrong with Toyotas, guys. Okay, don't be offended. I'm just trying to make an example. You can hang around with people who drive Toyota. You got a BMW or Mercedes, like, hey, I'm doing good. It's not what you consciously think, but even more so subconsciously. I'm doing good. Where is there for me to grow? I'm doing great. Or you can hang around with a crowd that when you show up, they don't even notice your car, right? And that makes your mind grow. And often we like to be where our comfort is, where we are the superstar, where we are the, um, the person who's got what they want or what they need, not where we are looking up at what they have, right? So this is where you got to make sure you're conscious of who you spend your time with. I have said bye to some friends, unfortunately, for different reasons, or have minimized the time I spend with some people, I should say, right? For that very same reason, you know, uh, I had to be conscious of it in the past. It didn't feel good, by the way. It didn't feel good, right? It's like going to the gym where there are amateurs working out. You look like the super Arnold Conan of the world, or you can go in the gym where they have a lot of weights and they have a lot of fit people, right? So you got to push yourself and you got to feed your conscious and subconscious mind of who you hang around with. Very important to be conscious of it. I used to sometimes find myself hanging around at the corner store. Why? Because I made friend with this corner store guy. It was late at night. I stopped there to get something. We get chatting, we get talking. Next thing I know, I spend so much time there. Again, don't get me wrong, but really, it did not bring me to another level. Yes, I spent some time. I like the guy, and we had a conversation. I'm talking over the years, not any one particular person, but you want to make sure that you are surrounding yourself with successful people. Okay. Uh, uh, yeah, like uh, another thing you want to do is make sure, on a different note, is the stuff that you feed your mind. Let's call it your entertainment time, online time, uh, whatever it is you spend time with technology, whether it's YouTube, whether it is television, whether it is, I don't know, whatever. You know, it's very easy to to get my um, uh, music, whatever you call it, media player, right? To load it up with absolutely one thing or have a diverse amount of things in it, right? I have one big area that has to do with motivation, motivational, business, stuff like that. All right. I'm not talking necessarily just opulence. I'm talking about different things. So I'm constantly hearing these successful people of what they do, what they say, and I gather what I can get from these people. And I hear a lot of times, often, they're saying the same thing in different style, different fashion, different manner, right? But they're all saying they're pretty much the same thing. Okay. So again, surround yourself with people like that. Another thing I want to talk about is, you know, I have a lot of people, quite a few people actually, that I've met over the years that they come by, they see what you got, they see your opportunity, they see your product, they see the tour, they know you've been the company been around 16 years, so on and so forth, and they get on board, right? They get on board, they get started, but really they didn't get started. They launched the shop, but they're not doing anything at all. And when you ask them why aren't you not getting to work? You already been in the business for a week and a half. Why is it that you haven't really taken any action, right? And the answer is, I'm trying to learn this. I want to be perfect at it. I want to know what I'm talking about. I want to know, so much that I need to learn before I can approach my people. Okay, I've had that most recently. I had someone say, "My people." I'm an executive kind of person. I'm with executive kind of people, and basically, I need to learn it all before I approach anyone. I don't want to approach anyone unless I, you know what? You don't have to. This is where this industry, this company shines. You don't have to be an expert in order to be able to do this business. Okay. Otherwise, what we used to always say was, don't get paralysis because of over analysis. Okay. People who overanalyze things are the one who are the slowest, are the ones who often don't even pull the trigger. They don't even do anything. They do very little minor things and they think that they're out of market, they're out of people. They don't know who to approach, or they don't know who to talk to, or smallest little things become the biggest objection for them. You know, well, where is this number, or where is this approval, or do we have an office in Timbuktu, or do we? How do we ship to Timbuktu? Is it going to get there in a certain time? Well, we don't know those things yet because we don't do business in Timbuktu yet. But when we do, we'll find out. Let's earn as we learn. There's so many other markets besides Timbuktu. Let's get to work. But people who overanalyze things are the one often, at the very least, the slowest in business because we're constantly analyzing things. Oh, such and such is coming in 6 months, or they're talking about this over the next century. Well, what's that got to do with you right now? What's that got to do with your business right now? Who knows? An asteroid could hit the Earth in 3 days and we could all be gone. Like, what is your point? Well, I'm just thinking, be prepared for it in case. Well, no, you didn't join this business because in case. You joined this business to do your best because you're not happy where you come from, or you want to enhance your lifestyle, your money, your health, whatever it is. So yeah, uh, you know, perfection equals paralysis. Okay, you can never make a perfect decision. Let me tell you why. Yeah, we've always heard this. There are more business opportunities lost due to indecision than a bad decision, right? Successful people, let me tell you what they have in common. All of them have made a lot of bad decisions. A lot of them have started things or gone wrong in some point, some parts, right? A lot of them had more failures than you've had success. Like I tell you right now, these guys have failures galore, right? They, who was it? Elon Musk, I think. He says no one in this world's made more mistakes than I have. And I believe it. If you look at his track record, if you look at what he has done, he says no one's made more mistakes than I have. That's Elon Musk saying it himself. Okay, look at the company. For example, the car industry, right? It started somewhere. I'm going to give you an example. I'm a visual kind of person. I give you an example. Imagine when mobility or car industry, the way it started, it originally was horse and buggies. Then they came with, I don't know, steam motors or whatever it is, and they evolved. People kept buying them because it was still beating walking, right? It kept evolving, it kept evolving, it kept evolving, it kept evolving. Then it came around 60s and 70s where the horsepower wars was on. all these cars were trying to make a car that beat the other one that made most amount of power. Then there was that big problem in 1972, 73, the fuel crisis, oil crisis, right? Now everybody started to downsize, and the only way they could downsize is by going smaller engines or engines that did not produce a lot of power so it could consume less fuel, right? That was their temporary fix. But you look at what's happened from then till today, 2021, we have cars that are making 1,000 horsepower on pump gas, right? Is it perfect yet? Of course not. It's never going to be perfect. But my point is, from where it started in 1800, where we are today, it is unbelievable what's happened with automotive industry. Okay, it's unbelievable what's going on with automotive. They keep evolving. Imagine the internet kids. Let's talk about them. You know how it started with the landing page and all that kind of stuff, which I still don't understand. I remember when I took computer courses in high school. I'm talking in the 80s. DOS, DOS, whatever, all that kind of stuff. It started with that. It was so confusing, right? But look what's happened with the internet. Is it perfect right now? No, of course not. It keeps evolving, but you got to start somewhere, right? So you don't need to be perfect to do this business. You can earn as you learn. We have 30 plus official tours weekly done for you, which we did not have when we got started in 2005, 2006, 2010, right? We had once a week hotel meetings or office meetings or whatever it was, right? Now, since the pandemic, we have 30 plus official and hundreds non-official webinars happening weekly, different time zones, different languages, and so on. We have training, amazing trainings. Corporately, we have it every Monday, product, Tuesday, forensic, Saturday morning, which is we're attending right now, and Danielle is leading that, right? We have that as well as unofficial trainings, which I know Renee does and so many people do, right? It's all there for you. You can tap into the system that we already have. Make sure you understand. Make sure you understand. Make sure that you know when they are and they're actually chalked up in your schedule. We're going to talk about the schedule too, because I know a lot of people do not have a schedule, right? So make sure you understand it is all there for you. You can start earning today. Your people can start earning today and become better at it as they grow, right? As a matter of fact, very few experts I know who are experts who are performing as well as when they were not so experts, right? Yours truly is one of them. So I keep conscious of it. I keep conscious of it. Don't be an expert, right? So another thing I want to talk about is, the people, right? Uh, People like I said, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Steve Jobs, Ramin, you know, these are good examples of making things happen. Uh, these people, none of them were afraid to make mistakes. Obviously, you don't want to make stupid mistakes, but it can happen. You can make stupid mistakes, right? So go out there and learn, earn as you learn, and any pace is better than no pace. I tell you that right now. Any pace is better than no pace, especially in our company, especially in our industry. I'll give another example, a visual Reza example. I remember I was 16 years old. I had got my driver's license. You can ask mom, you can ask Ramin. Uh, Unfortunately, my late dad is not around to ask him, but Ramin and my mom can tell you, can attest to this. I had got my car. I already had my car before I had my license, but now legally I could drive. Okay. So I decided to go to Washington, D.C. Hey, I'm going to go to Washington, D.C. I'm going to drive you guys there. I'm going to drive back. And back then, I'm talking 86, I think, 1986, 87. I don't remember. In the 80s, there was no GPS. There was no GPS. So what we used to do was go to a local gas station or go to a bookshop and buy a map. And they have different maps, right? They have maps for northeastern United States and central or west or all of United States or Canada, US, whatever, you know. So we used to go buy a specific map for the area we were traveling to and from. And we sit down and pre-plan throughout this route which way we're going to go here. This is the main highway here. This looks faster. Go here. And hopefully we got it right. Getting to Washington was no problem. Coming back, okay, I got comfortable. We already gone this way. It's all good. And I put the map over there. I remember my dad was sitting in the front. My mom and Remy were in the back. And we were driving back, and I seen Canada. Okay, we can't go wrong. We're going to Canada. And we were supposed to leave the night before. The next day. Well, we decided to go that day. I figured, let's go that day. Why? I'm driving anyway, so we'll drive. So as I see Canada, I start getting comfortable. I do not pay attention. Make a long story short, Canada, yes, Canada is a massive country. You're going west or east Canada, because that determines your highway coming from the south from the United States. Make a long story short, I took west. After about an hour and 10 minutes into it, I was kind of comfortable, but kind of tired. I look, it says Niagara Falls, 182 kilometers, Niagara Falls. I don't know miles because it was in the US. Then it says Niagara Falls, 130 miles. I'm like, I'm not going to Niagara Falls. Niagara Falls is west. Ottawa's east. Um, why am I getting closer to Niagara Falls? I finally said, no way. And if you guys been in the US driving through it, you make one mistake, you take one wrong exit, you got to go at least 20, 30 miles before you can find a legal spot to make a U-turn and correct your thing. I was pissed. I was so mad because I drove for a good hour and a half the wrong direction, right? The wrong direction. But I corrected it. It came back, and I'm pissed that why did I now an hour and a half wrong, an hour and a half back? That's 3 hours I have wasted, And I remember my dad saying to me, you know what? Hey, Zeus, quiet. I'm sitting outside. It's nice, but okay. So my dad said to me, look, it's okay. It can happen. You're still ahead of your schedule. So what schedule? He says, remember you were worried about leaving early in the morning tomorrow, but then you decided to leave the night before just to make things good. I'm saying, yeah. He says, if you had left early in the morning tomorrow and made this mistake, then you would have been really pissed. Right now, you're still 24 hours, 18 hours, 20 hours ahead of schedule. So basically, any pace is better than no pace. So when you get started in this business, if you do make some mistakes, do not worry about it. It's better than not doing anything at all for 3 years like I did when I got started, right? For different reasons, but I didn't do anything for about 3.5 years. I had launched my shop and helped set up offices everywhere, go to Toronto, bring furniture. Like I did all that, but I did not physically build my business, right? It's a good thing that I positioned myself, but it's a bad thing I didn't get to work making money the right away, right? So with this thing, when you get started, do not be afraid to make mistakes. Do not be afraid to, you know, as a matter of fact, I remember when people were asking me a question that they didn't have the answer to, I had two options. One, be the expert, make up an answer, right? And often it was the wrong answer. Two, tell people honestly, I don't know, but I'll find out for you. And people appreciate the two. They appreciate it when you say you don't know, but you will get back to them, right? So we'll touch on that a little bit later. Now, we're going to talk about, um, you know, another thing that I've seen over the years, I'm talking 30 plus years, is basically you focus on the few and not the many. What does that mean in our industry? Well, we all know if you have a good company with a good composition plan, with the products, I mean, we got it all. Honest to God, guys, we got everything handed to us on a silver platter. Absolutely the best of everything. Whether it's the company, when it comes to management, when it comes to composition plan, when it comes to training, whether it comes to everything, or more importantly, a composition plan, right? In a perfect world, in our company, two good individuals, two, can get you to the promised land, can get you to incomes unimaginable, right? And we know there's 8 billion people out there. And we know that company sends products to over 200 countries and territories, right? So what you need to do is you need to focus on the few, right? Another thing I want you to focus on is whether it is within this company. I know we have a lot of things that is before us. We have a lot of products. We have a lot of different awesome things, fashion, health, skincare. I mean, we have so much given to us, so much that's out there for us to choose from. Sometimes that can become confusing. Sometimes that can become, you know, uh, problematic. You know, so you got to decide. I mean, we have that's a good thing if you have the choice of all these products and all these different things and all these different ways of getting paid. But you know what? Just go out there and present it to the best you can, and the result will come. Another thing you need to think about is this. I've seen some people, a lot of people actually, quite a few people, they're involved in so many different things. They're involved in so many different things, yet they don't have full success at any one of them. And it's not like they just got started. They've been at it for a while. They've been at it for a while. Okay. I know someone bragging about that he is with 4 different network marketing companies. Okay. He's got 4 different business cards. And I guess he made a little bit of money here, a little bit of money there, a little bit of money here, a little bit of money there, but he's never made big money anywhere. I see that. Believe me, guys. I'm not picking on anyone. I don't even know anyone within our company that does that. So don't come back at me or don't get offended when I say this. But there's so many people, there's enough people that they got their hands filled with too many things. And if you want to make a little bit of money here and there and throw it all on the wall and see what sticks, no problem. Go ahead and do that. But if you want true success, long-term success, you have the best opportunity with the best compensation plan, with the best training, with the best support, with the best of everything that constantly evolves, constantly company promotions, and constantly new material and new things and new, just constantly being evolving. You have the best in this one company. Stop putting your efforts and your focus in so many different places. You know, when I'm driving and I have the kids in the car, we get rowdy, music going, sometimes debates going on, sometimes so on and so forth. But they know when I tell them, shh, shh, guys, quiet. I need to focus. The driving become hectic. The weather is bad. The drivers are driving bad or whatever. We're in an unknown territory. I don't know which road is where. So please quiet, guys, till I figure out what we're doing. And they know what exactly to be quiet, right? I don't want my mind to be in so many different places. And when it comes to your business, you want to make sure that you focus on the few and not the many, right? It is very, very important to understand that it's not a lottery; it's a business, and you need to be able to focus on whatever it is that you want success in. In this company, if this is it, then you need to put your full focus here. Besides your job, right? Your job is your job. So don't go and join so many different companies. If you think the other company is better, then let this one go. I'm sorry to say that. You know, if you think the other one's better, then let this one go. But if you think this one has superiority over everything else, and it does, then focus here. If you want that true success, that long-term success. Okay. Um, uh, Basically, I think I covered that. And oh yeah, one last thing. I have personally been with a number of companies. I've been with 4 other companies my first 16 years in this industry. Yes, 4 different ones. Never at any one time with more than one company at a time. Never. I could have, right? I've seen people do it, but I never have. I've been with one company at a time, and proudly I can tell you I made money with every company I was with. All right. I made money with every company I was with. Unfortunately, either they did not last and so on and so forth. I'm not gonna blame anybody, but it took me 16 years, 4 different programs to find home, which is Opulence. My first 16 years, I was never with more than one company at a time. That's my personal testimony on that. Now, believe passionately, okay? Uh, Most people don't succeed because they don't believe passionately, right? They don't believe in what they're doing. I don't know. Maybe it's lack of education. Maybe it was misrepresentation. Maybe it was perception. You know, people had a perception, not necessarily the way they were presented, but the perception that they have. Uh, but often, okay, often it is lack of education. Okay, and I was, like I have done a training. I remember in 2008, I was just getting started. This is some of you were around back then, and some of you know with me when I told you guys. I remember Sean saying, and a few other people were there. I said to you, I've been told that I'm going to be training tomorrow afternoon, and I got 45 minutes. That means I have to go on the stage and train the team, train all the people at the convention. And here I was thinking, I'm like, what am I going to train on tomorrow? And I only got 45 minutes. Make a long story short, 45 minutes became 30 minutes because of, there was a lot of things to cover. And then I was told right before I go up, you only got 30 minutes. You only got 30 minutes because we're running short on time. And I'm like thinking all night. I put some stuff together for myself to talk about, but now 45 minutes was a problem, but it's now down shrunk to 30 minutes. What do I say in 30 minutes that can bring value to these folks, right? I remember in that convention, there were some camera people that had these tripods all over the stage, the lighting on these tripods, blowing light at the stage. And I remember having a conversation with the people with these cameras, and these cameras were worth, I don't know, $30,000 cameras. I'm like, what? $30,000 for a camera? Not knowing there's cameras that are worth 300,000, but yeah, 30,000 still for a gadget. And I saw these tripods were heavy duty tripods. You know why? Because they could not afford to have a failing support. And that is the tripod that kept this expensive gadget, supported this expensive gadget. So I sat there, I'm like, you know what? All of a sudden, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to train on tripod. I'm going to train on tripod of belief. And this was my first training in 2008. And I went on the stage and I basically talk about the three areas in our industry, in our business that we need to be strong in if we want to last. Because if we last, we will be successful. If you keep applying yourself, if you last, you will become successful. That's inevitable. But it's often one of the tripods that let go, right? You can have two strong legs and the third one be weak. The moment you put some pressure on it, it's going to collapse. There goes your expensive camera, right? In our case, it goes our career, it goes our business, it goes our dream. If our tripod is not strong, now I know a lot of people in our industry that come, not much education about what this industry is all about. They already have their own perception. Some people don't even care if it's illegal. you know, they just come in, they figure, okay, if this one doesn't work, it's the next one. So this is wrong way. This is the wrong way of doing the business. If you want to have that generational residual, right? The residual income that you can pass it on generation to generation that we talk about, that ongoing residual, if you want to have that, you cannot be weak at your tripod. We talk about that. I've done training on that. As a matter of fact, these trainings are still on YouTube from way back in 2008, 2009. Go search, you'll find them, right? So your tripod has to be strong. Your tripod has to be strong, guys. That comes with education. That comes with education, not just yourself, but your team at the same time. You have to educate people about what this industry is and what it takes to become successful, right? Uh, you basically we always have an area that we do not like, we're not strong as other areas, right? We know the tripod of belief. I've already done so many training about it. I'm sure we're going to keep doing it. It's in your prosperity book, right? Industry, right? So these are the things you got to be: industry, yourself, and your company. These three areas you have to be strong in. If you are lacking in trust or in your company, that you want to get to learn and know who your company is, who are who are your corporate staff, who are the decision makers, who are the people behind the scene, who are the people in front of the scene, who are the people that are allowing you, that are giving you what we have in order to do what we want to do and earn the kind of income we want to earn. Once you do that within a short time, you're going to realize what a blessing it is to have a company such as this. So you know your company is solid, 16 years, clear, awesome track record, triple A rating with Better Business Bureau. I mean, 16 years, guys. So now, if your perception was, okay, it's another company, I'm going to do what I got to do till it's gone. Well, now that's out the door, because you know it's been around for 16 years. You know, a company that's not going to be around, they won't have 1,000 plus products. If you think the company that's weak, they would have not survived throughout the recession and the financial crisis of 2008. That, you know, then now through the pandemic, which we are growing every single day, we have grown right through it. So that is the point I'm trying to make. I'm not doing a tripod training right now, but Tripod of Belief is your prosperity book. It is on YouTube, and make sure that you're strong in all three areas. Often the toughest part is yourself, believing in yourself. And that is what we're doing right now. Somewhat, we're trying to help to the best we can. We cannot train you to become the number one believer of any of these areas over one sitting or even two sitting. It's an ongoing process that you want to keep working on, like I'm working on, like our own CEO is working on, right? Like all the successful people in the world that I know who are working on this. So you want to make sure you keep working on you at the same time. Okay. Now, next one I'm going to talk about is the simplest to do, but it's the toughest. I don't know why. Okay. Why people have problem in this area. And it's only simple because they don't keep themselves accountable. You know, what gets measured gets accomplished. Anything that you want, if you measure it, it gets accomplished, right? I'm going to talk about the company Toyota. I earlier talked about Toyota, and by no means I try to disrespect what they've done, because they're an amazing company. If you were to have one car for the rest of your life, it'd probably be a Toyota. You know why? Because they don't do anything 10, but they do 7 or 8 right across the board. They last forever. They're reliable. They might not be the best stylish car, but hey, if you were to have one car, I think that would be the car you want to have, right? Let me tell you what Toyota believe in, what they're saying in Toyota, right? They call the Toyota CEO, basically what he used to say was constant organized pressure. That is what they teach in the company Toyota. Constant organized pressure. Okay. What does that mean? Is basically they keep their people accountable. They don't care if you're a receptionist. They don't care if you're someone who does the graphics. They don't care if you're the designer. They don't care if you're the engineer. They don't care if you're the assembly line. They don't care. They keep everyone accountable. And because they keep everyone accountable, things get done the right way, right? I don't know if I can talk about Ramin, but I'm going to do it anyways. I already gave him heads up last week. I'm going to share some stuff that you guys probably don't even know. Most of you don't anyways. I know he's a tough boss. I'll tell you that right now. He's a tough boss. You know, uh, he's an awesome boss. He's a great boss, but he's a very tough boss. And him and I are the same in a lot of ways. And we've done everything we've done in the past together. But I tell you, there is a line we draw. And in this case, when him and I don't know how we could be boss and employee, because it just wouldn't work. The two of so, but he's a tough boss. He keeps people accountable. He constantly evolving. The company constantly evolving, and in return, he's created many duplicates of himself. You know, because these folks getting from him what they've been getting from him, and they lasted as long as they've lasted. So they're learned to be that way, and they're implementing it to their team, and so on and so forth, right? And I'm telling you right now, most of the stuff that been there, and they've been there for more than a year or two, obviously, uh, they like it that they're staying there. But I tell you, um, they accomplish so much. They accomplish so much because of the accountability part. They keep themselves accountable, right? They have targets that they must meet, certain criteria or deadline, right? Deadline doesn't mean do or die. It's just they draw a deadline on this day and this hour. We're going to finish what we got to do, and they get it done. So what you need to do is basically keep yourself accountable. How do you keep yourself accountable? As if it wasn't easy enough or hard enough or whatever it is to do. We got the forensic. Forensic teaches us how to keep ourselves accountable. How? By this black box. It's even written on it. 108 gets you 2 or 3, right? It's right there. 48 gets you 1. This is all there. The training is on it. It's all there. We have training on YouTube. This is just yet another way to teach you how you can, you know, how you can be more productive with your time, how you can be more um, spending your time wisely, how to utilize the 24 hours in the day, whether you put 1 hour a day in this business, 5 hours a day, 5 hours a week, 50 hours a week, 100 hours a week. This box keeps you accountable, because we get excited, we talk a big talk, we think a big thing, and we want to do all these things that we'll be thinking about when we're excited. But I tell you something, if we do not keep ourselves accountable and be organized, have a schedule. I know a lot of people don't have a schedule. They just do this business when they do this business. In their mind, they have a schedule. Yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday, Monday. But I know a lot of the very same people that's supposed to be working on Tuesday and be on a forensic call, they're not on a forensic call. They're working on a Monday and they're supposed to be on the mandatory must call, attend calls of product. They're not on the product call. They're working this business and they know every Saturday at this time they're supposed to be on this training, but they're not on this training. Why? Because other things come up. They're casual with their business. They don't have a proper schedule. Uh, you know, uh, they talked to some prospect and they told them that they're going to follow up with them, or they took someone's number, whether it's in their phone or whether it's on a business card, and they did not implement it into this box. So when you open Monday, it's no rocket science. Monday, you look at Monday, all the things you got to do. Whatever you got done, you make a note, you put it on Tuesday, whatever you're getting back to, follow up, put it on a Wednesday. It keeps you organized. And when you get up in the morning, and if you woke up late, you're going to look at this box, they're going to say, oh my God, I had so much to do. Well, if you really organize the night before, you know what you have to do the following day, right? But nevertheless, a day goes by and you don't attend to this box. You have to move everything from Monday to Tuesday. Now you have an existing Tuesday tasks to get done. Now, not only you wasted Monday, now you loaded up even more. Your Tuesday become even bigger. And so on and so forth. So this box is just yet another tool, a very simple but yet very effective tool that you can build your business with and keep yourself accountable. Constant, organized pressure. That's what Toyota's been going with. And look at them. The best, I believe, in my opinion, number one car company that has reliable vehicles, right? They even have performance cars, but they're very reliable. Toyota, it is, right? I don't even have. That's funny. I don't even have one Toyota, but yeah. So next slide we're going to talk about is what's going on here. Oh, there we go. Just do it. Okay, just do it. I know Nike, one of them is just do it. I don't know if you guys seen the speech that Mr. Art Williams gave to the Senate, all the high performance, top notch people by thousands, and he gave a speech called "Just Do It." I don't know how many of you guys seen it, but it's widely available on YouTube. Just do it. Go see that video; it'll get you fired up. Don't watch the short version. Watch the long version. I have watched it, I don't know how many times, guys. It is one of my all-time favorite videos. And doesn't matter how tired I am, doesn't matter how down I am, doesn't matter how disappointed I am, doesn't matter how I feel. When I watch this video, it gives me energy, it gets me boosted up, and that's simple. Just do it. If you have to put your shoes when you go home a certain way, don't just look at it and say, you know what, I'm going to organize it one. No, no, do it. Okay. If you feel that you know what to do with business, if you know that you got to call X, Y, and Z, but you haven't got around to it yet, well, why not? Just do it. If you know you have to follow up, do it. If you know you have to deliver some product somewhere, do it. If you're thinking of putting on a stand somewhere, whether it's an old age home or whatever it is, I don't know. Yeah, you all have ideas, because when I talk with you guys, I get so many ideas from you. I was thinking of doing this. I was thinking of doing that. I was thinking about this and I was thinking about that. And I get so many ideas from you guys. I get so many ideas from you guys. Brilliant ideas. Except you have not capitalized on it. You have not even initiated it. You have some amazing ideas, but you haven't take the action of organizing. You even have it written down. You even have it broken down. You already have an idea in your head how you're going to go about it and how successful it will be. But you still haven't done it. Get in the habit of just doing it. I know it's difficult, but trust me, you feel good after you do it. Okay, you feel good after you do it. I'm pushing myself. I'm pushing myself every single day. After stuff that I'm looking around, I'm like, man, I've been thinking about this, but I've been doing so many other things that haven't gone around this. Well, you know what? That's baloney. If I really wanted to do that, that would take me extra 15 minutes. When I finished last night doing what I was doing and sat in front of this computer watching YouTube videos or whatever I did, I could have taken 15 minutes, gone downstairs and get that done. Yet I haven't done it. I've been talking about it for months. I get pissed. It drives me nuts knowing that I'm not doing it. So now I do it, and I'm so happy when I do it. I have a friend of mine. We bought some stuff together. He wanted me to hang on to this stuff for him until he's ready to pick it up. No problem. It's been sitting by my front door in the hallway. That's not part of my furniture. His and mine were sitting in the front for I don't know if I won't even tell you for how long, because it's embarrassing, for a long time. It became to a point, became like a fixture, normal fixture. We use it as a stand, put stuff on it because it's in a big box. Man, So last week I said enough is enough. I put mine away and his in the wine cellar, in the storage. I don't use it as a wine cellar, I use it as storage. Out. It's got to go. It takes me 2 minutes to get it out and bring it and put it away. So just do it, guys. Whatever it comes down to. If you have to make that list that you haven't made it yet, take the time and do it. If you have to highlight the 5, 10, 15 people that you want to call first, highlight them and set the time. If you have the experience, do it by yourself, great. You still have an upline present or ready for you to do a three-way with them, but do it. If you know so-and-so will benefit from these products, or so-and-so has a wedding coming up, or so-and-so, just do it. Pick up that phone and call them, right? Honestly, it's that simple. Do it. Don't talk about it. Don't keep talking about it, because you discourage yourself out of it. Just do it, okay? One last thing I want to give you, again, real life examples of why, what I mean by just doing it. I remember, for those of you who don't know, our CEO and myself, we used to be on the national team. We used to wrestle for Team Canada, and we were good at it. Once you win Canadian national championship, that means you're number one in Canada. Obviously, that's when you go to the Olympics. That's when you go to world championships. You go to big tournaments. You go to big, 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 big things, right? I remember we used to practice. I'm talking way back, even in high school, right? When we were in high school, we did our school, obviously. Once the school was done, we'd be at a wrestling practice, school practice, wrestling practice. We had a great coach, Mr. Jones, and he had some limited knowledge, and he had produced some OFSA champions. OFSA stands for Ontario Final Schools, or so whatever, for Ontario. And he had produced some that had gone to become national champions not under his supervision because it's for high school, but under different people's supervision. And so we knew if we want to become good, not just at the school level, but at the senior level, at the national and international level, we needed to practice, and practice a lot. And what we used to do was, I remember going to these big tournaments, sometimes participating and sometimes as an audience because we're not old enough, whatever. We didn't qualify for them because, I remember going to these tournaments and looking at high levels, gold, silver, bronze levels. And there's a lot of fancy moves in wrestling. There's a lot of things that you can do in wrestling that makes you look really good. And you can get away with it once in a while, or you can get away with it with amateurs. But when you're wrestling against high level wrestlers, I noticed the common denominator between all these champions was that every single one of them, they repeated a handful of moves, a handful of techniques that they have perfected. And matches, gold medals were won or lost with who that could do these basic few techniques the best. Again, wrestling is about grappling, it's about single leg, double leg, different kind of. I remember there was a handful of moves that we practiced on endlessly. Single leg, double leg, single leg, double leg, single leg, double leg. Again, if you don't know what that means, it's shooting for a single leg or a double leg. I remember we practiced like we just learned it, day in and day out. We would practice over and over and over and over the same moves because at those high levels, the person who won the gold medal, was the one who did the most basic moves, the best, the fastest, the smoothest. And how do you become good at it and smooth at it and fast at it is by practicing the same move. I mean, if you look at, I'll give you some of the examples. I remember Michael Jordan. He would stay behind after high school. He would stay behind after practice just to keep shooting that ball, shooting that three-pointer drive. He would do it to the tune of hundreds. I lost the count of how many numbers he used to do every single day. But he did the same over and over and over and over and over. Tiger Woods, 500, okay? 500 drives a day, 500. Imagine 500. We're not talking 50. We're not talking 100. 500 per day of the same thing that he knows how to do best, but he still do, that many of them, right? In our company, in our business, Opulence, take a look at it. People like Renee, people like Amarji, people like Vernisha, people like Nancy, people like, the people, success to different various levels, they keep doing it. They keep doing it. The same thing. Make contact, set an appointment, show the tour, show the products, either make him a VIP, make him a customer, or follow up. They do the same thing over and over and over. They show the same tour over and over and over, right? They don't get bored of it. Yeah, they could get bored of it, but you cannot get bored of it. You just have to do it with the same enthusiasm, same excitement, same energy, no matter how many times you've done it in one day, yet alone in a week or month. The moment you lose that, you just have to keep doing that. You cannot stop doing that, right? So I think we beat on that enough, right? Be extremely positive. You have people that you are happy to hear from. Do you know people that that change your mood when you hear from them, when you're having a conversation with them? There could be strangers, there could be people who especially people who right? But in some cases, like strangers, you just come across that individual that's something about them. They're positive, they are energetic, they got that glow to them, they got that energy to them, they got that aura to them. Like, so this is where things can happen, and things do happen when it comes to connection, when it comes to business, when it comes to relationship, when it comes to anything, right? In our business, you want to be extremely positive, right? Extremely positive. It is so important for you to be extremely positive. Why is that? Well, let me tell you. Positive gets things done. Positive does more than just keep you driving and going, but it keeps, more importantly, gets people, strangers or non-strangers, people you've talked to, when you have that conversation, consciously, subconsciously, you throw things out that might not sound so positive. More importantly, when you talk to people who are already in the business, already in your team, okay, already in your, not necessarily your team, your company, and you have to be positive when you talk to them. You have to be constantly positive. That's the only thing you need to be, really. Be positive. If the complaint comes, be positive. When someone's got a misconception of something, a misunderstanding of something, let's assume outright mistake or something happened wrong. Be positive. It is very important that you be positive. I know it's difficult. It's easier said than done. It's easier said than done. Okay? But being positive is very contagious. Trust me on this one. Okay? This is where positive, is contagious. When you're positive, you agree, you make people happy and positive. All of a sudden, they got a room full of happy people and positive people, somewhat, but it's not the most contagious. It is a negative thought. A negative thought within or coming from the outside, or in this case, yourself, that can destroy the whole group of positive. So you have to be conscious of it. If this is your business, if this is your future, if this is your family, if this is what you're putting your blood, sweat, and tear, everything into, then you need to learn on how to be positive. We always say, we have said it from the beginning. I haven't heard it too much lately, but I'm going to repeat it again. Negative up, positive down. How does it go again? Negative up, positive down. Who's up? Your sponsor. Who's up? You're my five. Who's up? Ultimately up, the company, right? Which I don't want you to go to the company. We can handle it within our community without bringing it to the company. They have enough to do. So negative up, positive down. Positive down, down. Who's down? Your sideline and below. Everybody in your team. You bring the positive. If it's negative comes, you isolate that negative. You tell that individual, hey, I'm sure we got it wrong or something, whatever the situation is, we'll deal with it. You don't need to talk about it. I will personally deal with it. I'll make sure. So you bring that negative to your upline, qualified upline, someone up there, and you deal with that negative perception. Or let's say negative, something happened bad, right? Never, ever, 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 ever sit there, have a conversation with your downline, especially your sideline guys. Some of you have done it, and that really gets me, gets my blood boiling. And I'm not very diplomatic when it comes to talking about stuff, especially when it comes to my business. I take it very seriously. And then when I hear someone experience went to a sideline, okay, went to a sideline or a downline, saying things that sound negative, that was negative, like, no, can be. My first reaction is can be. But guess what I do? ASAP, I put things on hold. I pick up this thing, boom, 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 because I want to start the poison, whether it's malicious or not, in its track. I want to make sure that misconception, misinformation, or some of the person's not doing, the person's not aware he's doing something wrong, he or she's doing something wrong. I pick up the phone and call, message them immediately. I don't put it on a back burner because I don't want nothing negative. And 99.9% of the time, misconception or misunderstanding or something understood wrong or something to go and infect some other people and put that negativity into people. Now, as an individual, stay as a positive individual in all areas of your life. Stay positive. It's very important. Remember, being positive contagious. What's even more contagious, to the point of destroying you, your company, your family, whatever, is a negative thought. Keep that in mind, guys. Okay. Now, this part, I'm going to talk about love yourself. Basically, it took me a very long time to understand this. It took me a very, very long time to understand this. Love yourself. How do you love yourself? You stand in front of the mirror and say, hey, I'm so awesome. I'm so great. I'm so beautiful, I'm so handsome, I'm so. Is that what it means? Well, yes and no. Yes and no. Okay. But at the end of the day, you have to love yourself. You have to even become selfish. I'm going to talk about that a little bit more. But let me tell you one thing. I remember one time it was a high level match. Back to wrestling because that used to be my life. And I remember there was this gentleman named Sang Kim. Um, I don't know. I believe he was originally from China. What a great wrestler! What a great wrestler! And he did so well. He did so well, and against all odds, because he didn't have this big muscles or he didn't have this great, you know, strength or no, no. But he was a Toyota. This guy, he was a Toyota. But what he used to do to boost his mind, especially after super like the gold championship medals. You see him in the corner. He's got his hoodie on. He's got his thing on. He's warming up. He's skipping, and he's whispering to himself. He's saying the same thing over and over and over, over and over and over. So everybody was wondering, what's he talking about? What's he saying? Is it voodoo? Is it some kind of prayer? Is it like what is he saying? We're all we're all curious about what is he saying? What's making this guy so good? And people who eventually found out what he was saying, they heard what he was saying. He was skipping and he was repeating while he was skipping for 10, 15 minutes before the match nonstop. You know what he was saying? I'm the best. 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 He's been doing that all along. Every time at big tournaments, winning gold medals, big matches, against all odds, beating his opponent that was way better than him, in my opinion. Like, I mean, the guy was a monster, and this guy would beat him, would win the gold medal. That's what he tell himself. I'm the best. And he believed he was the best. And because he believed he was the best, he won gold medals. You know, he was at the top of his game, right? So the problem, unfortunately, in reality, is most people don't love themselves, right? They don't even like themselves. It's sad to say that, but they look in the mirror and they don't love what they see. Sometimes legitimately because of not doing what's within their control, legitimately, and sometimes it's only in their mind, only in their thought. They look in the mirror. I'm too tall. I'm too short. I'm too fat. I'm too skinny. My hair is too long. My hair is too short. I'm bald. I am this. I'm that. You know, that is one area that you have to work on. You have to work on that because, okay, you have to, in order for you, okay, in order for you to be able to be the best version of yourself, you have to, you must get to love yourself first. Okay? I'm sure some of you folks out there, some of you ladies out there, especially, can do a bigger lesson and training on this, which I would attend myself personally, but you definitely need to love yourself first before being the best version of yourself for anyone else out there, right? In our program, in our company, you have to love yourself first. Means you're using the product yourself first. That means you're taking the training yourself first. That means you create that situation to spend time with the top earners one on one, with the corporate, with our CEO, with our vice president, with our any area. I know you want to get your team involved, but you know what? Get yourself in the first. Become somewhat selfish and allow yourself, you know, to become the best version of yourself. And trust me, you'll be way more useful to your team and everyone else perfecting this part first. Okay? Now, we're going to talk about focus, right? I remember, again, by the way, I'm using name of some big figures. It doesn't necessarily mean I like them or not like them. Doesn't mean I'm promoting or not promoting them, because I have mixed feeling for almost every single one of them. But in reality, I'm going to use their strengths. I'm going to use their strengths as an example, right? It doesn't mean I'm promoting them or I like them, or even. As a matter of fact, some of them I don't even like. But you can't deny the fact of the success and what works right? I remember Bill Gates and Warren Buffett, I remember simultaneously said one thing, and that was focus. Okay? Focus. Okay? In the last, I've been in this industry for about 32 years, right? And my focus has been the same. Right from the high school, barely out of high school, my focus was to be rich. Now, excuse me if that's taboo in some cultures. I don't think it is, but you might be in some communities. But I wanted to be rich, outright, straight. I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing. I wanted to be rich. I wanted to have big cars. I want to have big homes. I want to have big boats. I wanted to be able to do whatever I want to do whenever I want to do it. And I tell you, my focus has not changed. Sometimes it's been sidetracked by stuff that I had control over. Most often, I had control over the things that sidetracked me. But my focus has been the same, right? Sometimes it's unexpectedly. Sometimes some things come in your life that are not expected. They're unexpected. They come to derail you. They come on to defocus you. For those of you who believe in devil or whatever, Miss Lucifer, they come there to get your eyes off the prize, to get you to fail, right? Whatever that may be. Could be a project, could be unexpected challenge that you're pouring so much into. I can speak from the experience. And all of a sudden, a small, minor thing that we allow to defocus us because we're not conscious of it. All of a sudden, we get derailed, we get defocused. Like I mentioned, going the wrong way 150 miles towards Niagara Falls when I should be going towards Ottawa, right? But I corrected that. And here, it hurts. It kind of demotivates you. Sometimes, often people give up because they feel like, oh man, I don't have this strength or energy. Oh my God, I just too devastated. Oh, I can't. Oh man, you know what? Let whatever wants to happen, let it happen. Right? No, you can't allow that. You got to stay focused, especially when you drop the ball or things happen that you allowed it to change your course or get you off your focus. You cannot. You got to put the blindfolders on and focus on what it is that you're focusing on. You have to do that. You have to focus. Okay? Do not allow anybody, whether it's your wife, your husband, your children, your neighbor, your grandparent, I don't care. You can attend to everything else you got to attend to, but your focus is your focus. No excuses. I have 3 kids. I can talk. I can say that. I've earned my stripes. So people that got kids, I can see them getting offended. What's he talking about? Neglect my kids? No, I never said neglect your kids. I got 3 kids. I love my kids. And I do so much for my kids. And I'm able to do as much as I do for them and still focus. Okay? Or I can do everything that I can do for them and all of a sudden not even focus on my thing. Why? Oh, it was pandemic, they have no school. Oh, they're homeschooled. Oh, it's summer now. Oh, blah, 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 blah. No. So focus is very crucial over here, guys. Okay? The focus of this company is very clear. I don't know if you've heard it or not, but the focus of this company, the CEO's focus, which is my focus as well as many other people's focus, basically shareholders, for example, we have to create 1,000 millionaires. You may have heard to the billion, to the billion, to the billion, right? How do we hit the billion? By creating 1,000 millionaires. We would love to create hundreds of thousands of millionaires, but again, let's be realistic. Not be realistic, but let's go with the numbers that we already know. Let's create 1,000 millionaires. And we put it on the same platform. We present it to as many people as we possibly can. And those who take the steps and action we pour into, we see any spark, we pour gasoline all over it and help them reach the targets and goals of becoming a millionaire. I've always proudly said, I want to be a millionaire. Okay? And I have a lot of reasons. What do I do with millions? It's not just to put it there and look at it and look good. No. It allows me to have the freedom I have today. And I want to keep doing this and create millionaires. So focus. Opulence, target and focus, 1,000 millionaires. Opulence becomes $1 billion program. And we're on our way, guys. So enough of that. Make some money. Hey, uh, yeah, I'm going straight to hell. I don't think so, but some people may think that he's talking too much about money. Well, money isn't everything, but becomes the only thing when you don't have enough of it. Trust me, I've seen unfortunately bad things happen to some people where money could have resolved their problems, even saving lives. But because money wasn't there, it happens every single day. Because money isn't there, there's people starving, there's people, it happens every single day because of what people call taboo, right? I've always said I want the money. You guys know that singer Midloaf. I remember in high school, Meatloaf, that song, "I Want You, I Need You," but I could never love you. That's money for me. I want it, I need it, but I could never love it. There's a big difference between loving it and wanting it and needing it, right? And he says, "Don't be sad." He's talking, to whatever. I'm talking to money. Don't be sad because two out of three ain't bad, right? So this is where you need to make some money. You have to make money. And I know deep down, again, excuse me, forgive me if I'm wrong, every single body from any kind of walk would like to have the money because they know with that money they're able to do and do more of whatever they're passionate about, whatever it is that they've put their life into, right? Whether you want an orphanage, whether it is charities, whether it is to feed the homeless, whether it is to donate to children's hospital, whether it is to help a friend, whether it is to whatever, right? Make some money, okay? One thing I know about money, and it's true, it is so true. Money makes a good person better and a bad person worse. Again, that's unfortunate because I've just experience. I've seen that throughout my life. And money makes a good person better and bad person worse. That's why you see, CEO of this company, Mesgarlou, such a nice guy, but yet he's so humble. You know what I mean? Oh, Renee's so humble, so approachable. This is where good people become better. Let me give an example. I have always seen my mother putting the picture of these little children on her fridge. I'm talking since I was like 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, right? And these pictures, I'm like, who's that? Oh, that's your sister. What sister? She's black. Oh, it's your adopted sister. When is she coming home? Oh, she's not coming home. She lives in such and such country. This one is from Philippines. This one is from there. Over the years, she's always had these pictures on her fridge till we really registered what's going on. She was, you know, adopting children all over the world, paying $30 a month. I don't know whatever it was. Sometimes I had 6 kids. She was paying money every month towards and some of them reached the university now, and they send a nice big. It's touching. They send a big picture, and she's sponsored that child since the child was 6 years old, right? And that's grown up into us, myself, Ramin Mesgarlou, which is CEO of this company, and we all know how much. If you don't know, let me tell you, we have never stopped donating, supporting different causes, whether it's an orphanage in Kenya, whether it is to feed the homeless. Last about 3 weeks ago, I still haven't a chance um, to upload my videos. I fed 100 homeless. I just decided, hey, you know what? I know some people somewhere, and I made a cause in my head to feed 100 people. I sent enough money that they again slaughtered a cow, right? I know it doesn't sound good, but and they took the meats and they made it into a lot of different dishes. I have videos of it. I have documentations of it, which I'm going to share at some point really soon. I haven't had the time to get around it yet. We've been doing that. But disaster areas, this company is always matched or even gone beyond that to help disaster areas, orphanages. When I say orphanages, because we don't have one in Kenya. I know there was some in Uganda. I know there's in Iran that they are sending food to these disaster places. I remember there was earthquakes. I remember typhoons in Philippines. I remember in Haiti, not once, twice. with the earthquake and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it never stops. Imagine some people say, "Well, I don't care about money. I just want to help people." How are you going to help people if you have no money? Trust me, you're more of a help to humanity in this world with money than without money. And I think we all agree that, whether we openly agree to it or not. So make some money, okay? And yeah, basically, without money, you cannot help a single thing, right? So you got to make sure that you are that way and make yourself. Uh, so you got to go out there and make some money. How do you make money? Well, a lot of ways to make money, and in Opulence, it's quite easy to be able to make that retail sale. Go out there, build that team, put that team together, and drive yourself to go uh, as high as you possibly can in your income levels to be able to do that. Now, push through failures. Push through failures is a tough one. It is a tough one. It is so tough. Just when I think I've seen it all, I have to remind myself of the things that I've seen, things that I've experienced, and things that I wish I never experienced because I see people do it, right? Pushing through failures is a difficult one. You need the most strength with, you need the most discipline with, and you need to really focus. Remember the couple of slides ago? I hope they're all taking notes, because these are the notes that you can refer to tomorrow, next day, ongoing. How do you push through this failure? You need a combination of few things in place in order for you when you fall, when something bad happens, to say, you know what, back up, right? Mike Tyson says, it's not how hard you get. It's not about the hit you took and you fell down. It's about how many falls you can encounter and get up and keep going at it. And this is where we're going step by step of what makes you that individual that will say, you know what, I lost this battle, but not the war. Back up, at it again, right? I've seen that throughout every single successful. When I say successful, I'm talking billionaires, I'm talking mega millionaires, I'm talking people who own franchises that's grown across Canada, US, and some parts of Europe and Africa. These are the folks that I know of or I know personally, right? And all of them have the same common denominator, right? They push through failures. Let me tell you something. Um, Over the last 16 years, we have had some challenges in this company, which were out of our control. And I never for 1 second thought that um, that as tough as it's been, whether it's my personal business or as a company, doesn't matter how significant, how big the failure or things seemed like there's going to fail was. I never lost hope and confidence in this company. You know why? Because I would pick up the phone and I would have a conversation with the founder and CEO himself. Because his mindset, I'm a strong guy, I'm a tough guy, physically and mentally, right? And not too much gets to me. I told people would come to me and say, well, we heard X, Y, and Z. This is happening. This is good. What are we going to do? Oh my God. They said the company's going to shut down in 30 days. Oh, they said this is going to happen. Oh, they said, oh, this guy and this guy and this guy, they've been planning this. Now they want to bring everybody to, like, you know what? I look at them. I says, you know what? I'll find out. I'll look into it. I'll deal with those things, but I'm not worried. I am not worried. They look at me and say, how come you're not worried? I says, because I'm not worried, because I know the CEO of this company, I know the founder of this company, and I know we're going to be fine. We're not going anywhere. I'm talking earlier on through the process of this company to be where it is today. And I tell Ramin the same thing. Our CEO, I tell him the same thing. I tell other people the same thing. I tell other leaders the same thing. The only time I would worry, the only time I would be concerned is if, God forbid, he says he sold the company and someone else is taking over, or anything like that he's leaving. That's the only time I would entertain these kind of thoughts. Until then, I know we're going to push through anything that needs to be pushed through, because I have that kind of confidence in him and in this company. So how did he become where he is and how he is? encountering and having his everything we covered so far, his tripod, his convection, his focus, everything solidified. There was a solid in all those areas. So when he had a failure, it's not like he did free fall. He didn't go far because he had an amazing foundation to pick it up from again. And he's done that wonderfully. And, we're quite blessed to have him as our CEO. Now, I want to leave some time. Drusilla, don't hesitate to cut in if we have some questions and comments. Comments is okay. We can read after, but if there's any questions, please go ahead and put it in your chat box. If there's some clarity you want, put it in the chat box. I'm going to cover one more point, and I think we'll be good for that. So are we okay, Drusilla, with that?
Yes, we're fine with that, Reza. There's only one question right now, and there's lots going on in the chat, so we can cover that after.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay. Now, next one is something also I learned quite early in my career of network marketing direct sales, and that was for me to find a mentor. Find a mentor, okay? Find someone who is where you want to be in the next 3, 4, 5, 10 years, okay? It's absolutely crucial for you to do that. You have to find a mentor. I don't mean mentor in your dreams. Mentor that you have access to. At least you have access to the material. At least you can connect them and you can work with them. And I'm not talking every single day or every minute, but you have access to them. Okay? You have to find a mentor. The biggest mistake, the number one mistake I see people with good qualities, people with good strengths, people with good who have everything they need within them to make things happen, that they do not have a mentor. They don't even look for a mentor, right? And that is something that you must, okay? I remember the story about Mike Tyson when he was, 13, 14-year-old troubled street kid that was fighting and was making money and food or what. It was trouble. It was Mike Tyson was trouble, right? We all know that. I remember when he found Gus D'Amato, which was his mentor at the time. Okay, he took this street kid Mike in Catskill, New York. I found that city funny, amusing. Catskill. I guess they kill a lot of cats there. I don't know. So he took him from the street and he mentored him. He developed him in the gym and he made him to be the top heavyweight boxer in the world who was a champion by the age of 20. I mean, he's not even in his prime yet. Okay. He brought him and he mentored him and he kept in on right track. And Mike was obviously open to it. And he made him the youngest heavyweight champion of the world. What happened now when Gus passed away? If you guys don't know, Gus passed away, and that's where Mike Tyson was derailed. He was back into doing the bad things. He was not able to he didn't have the mentor to tell him, coach him, and guide him. And he got into a bunch of trouble. Mike Tyson got into a whole bunch of trouble again, as if he never had the success and the mentorship and all that. Why? Because he lost Gus until he paid the price even on a bigger scale, right? Go to jail and all that kind of stuff because of lack of mentorship. And this is where it's important for you. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're Reza. I don't care if you're Renee. I don't care if you're Ramin. Even bigger than that, he's a CEO, right? You have to have a mentor. You have to have someone that you want to be where they are, and you're not there yet. Okay? Now, mentorship is not easy to find. I'll admit, it's not easy to find. And if you find them, doesn't mean the chemistry might be right. Doesn't even mean they like you or you like, I don't know. But it's doable. It's possible. You got to go out there. Within this company alone, you have some amazing people, amazing mentors, amazing, knowledgeable people who are committed, very committed to this company. I know we got people like Ronan that will sit down the call with you for hours. He will commit his life to things that are not even in his team. They're not even in his line. He does not benefit from them. Right? For those of you thinking, well, he's in his team. No, they're not in his team. I'm talking sidelines. Right? He'll spend the time. Renee, he'll spend the time. Amarjeet, Vernisha, there's Arthur Anthony, there's Nancy Kiga, there's Lucy's, there's a whole bunch of Lucy's. You might extended family team in Kenya, right? There's Karimi and the Phoebe, and then the list goes on, right? There's a lot of powerful people in our business. Find them, get to know them. They don't necessarily have to be upline because they will allow you to tap into what they do so you can learn from them, right? Very important for you to find this mentors, okay? Um, Now, when you find a mentor, okay, what you got to do is make sure, you know, you have two ears, one mouth. And when you ask your question from this mentor, at this point, you open your ears wide and you zip it. You don't say anything, right? Unless you want to ask a question. You want to be a sponge and observe all what they're taking the time to teach you. And this is so important for you to have that mentor. All right. Again, it's not going to be easy to find that mentor, but it's possible, it's doable. So make sure you do that. Now, at this point, I'm not going to go into the next point because, or can we make one more point, Drusilla, or
Yes, we have 9 more minutes before it's 12, Reza. That's
is there
your
any
turn.
questions or anything like that? That's what I'm saying. We said we're going to put the Q&A at the end. That's
Yes.
why. Okay,
Okay.
so I'll cover one more point, then we'll open it up. How about that?
Wonderful.
Thank you. Stop wasting time. 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 Okay. Uh, Time is either you put something that you either put to good use or you waste it. You cannot store it. You cannot store it. Okay. The time you spend this morning, right now on this call, you either put it to good use by listening, taking notes, and thinking and organizing, or you wasted it. Hopefully, you didn't waste it, right? So you need to stop wasting time. We all waste time in one shape, form, or another, right? We all have our own ways. Now, there's those of us who are conscious of it, trying to minimize the amount of time wasted, right? Some people are the extreme of how they like to utilize their time. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger says, you only need 5 hours a day, six max to sleep. And then he says, some people say, well, Arnold, I need at least 8, 9. He goes, no, you only need 6. Then you sleep faster. You know, you sleep that 9 hours in 6 hours. It's funny. But basically, you all have 24 hours in a day. Now, some people, everybody thinks they're the busiest in the world. Trust me, everybody I talk to, whether they're single with no dependence. They might have a pet here and there, but pet is pretty self-sufficient, especially if it's a cat, right? They have no kids, they have no husband, they may have a boyfriend, they might not have a boyfriend, I don't know. Or they might have a girlfriend or not have a girlfriend, they might have a pet or not have a pet, but I know from my side, what I look at, yes, they have a job like everyone else, but yet they're so overwhelmingly busy. Busy doing what? I don't freaking know. I have no idea what they're busy with because I know financially they're not where they want to be. I know they like the money, they like to live better. I know they worried about the pension because they most likely won't have a good pension or any pension. I know they're throughout their midlife, if there's, depends on what you call midlife, but yet there's no sense of urgency. Yet everything else takes front seat to what could secure the future, what could have them sleep a little bit better at night, knowing that the future is secure. God forbid if something happens to them that they can't go to work, at least they're secure. Let's assume they work till they're like whatever, they're secure. See, they do not understand that, and they keep wasting time. They keep wasting time. When it comes to the smallest task, when it comes to their business, they don't have the time to make it, or if they planned on being on it, all of a sudden, next best thing took over. I have every excuse right now not to be with you guys. Every excuse. It's a Saturday. First of all, I don't wake up early. Let's put that out there. I don't wake up early. Because why? Because I go to bed really late. Why do I go late? I have a lot of reasons why. A lot of excuses, if you want to call it, why I go to bed late. I'm just not a morning person. That's why you catch me working really late, right? So I have family. A large group are coming like there's a large number of people that are family that are coming to Ottawa, or that might be already there. I know there's going to be a lot of food, a lot of drinks, a lot of whatever, a lot of work that goes with it's happening right now. My kids are anxious to go to their grandma's because that's where the whole thing is. I have the boat sitting in the laneway, and it's a beautiful day. I have every excuse of not being here. I could pick up that phone and say, "Hey, Renee, buddy, you know what? I'd really appreciate if you can do this Saturday training, and I'll do the one next week." Or, stop wasting time, guys. Remember that slide, just do it, right? Remember that slide, just do it? That's what I'm talking about. You want to make sure to set yourself up with a good schedule. Schedule. Remember grade school, we had a schedule? Middle school, you had a schedule. Even in high school, you have a schedule, right? When you go to work, what's a part-time when you have a job? Part-time or full-time? There is a schedule, right? You don't just show up to work when you want. You don't leave when you want. Not for most parts, anyways. You have a schedule. So go back to the beginning. Set yourself up with a schedule. When you attend your work, your Monday 9 to 5 job, when you attend to your family, when you attend to your business, opulence business, you have to have a schedule. If you don't have a schedule, trust me, you're wasting a lot of time, right? We have 24 hours in a day. And when I look at it, everybody has 24 hours in a day. And everybody can have endless amount of excuses. And often, not often, almost 100% of the time, guys, almost 100% of the time, people with the most excuses are the one that need the money the most. They need this training the most. They need to be focused and organized the most. People who are at the bottom of the food chain, I hate to put it that way, are the one with the most excuses and the most amount of time wasted. That's just a fact. I can't sugarcoat it. I just have to say it the way it is. I don't know how to do it. I don't have the talent of sugarcoating it and putting it out in a way that doesn't offend people. I just don't know how to do it. So excuse me, forgive me if this offends anyone. But people who need the money, who are suffering, who are not getting what they want, they don't have enough to eat, or they gotta watch their steps, and they don't have a pension, and they don't have a future, and they're worried about the bills, and worried about the job, and worried about everything, are the ones with the most excuses, folks who waste the most amount of time. Okay, so going back to the beginning, accountability, keep yourself accountable. How do you keep yourself accountable? Well, this is another one. Basically, you got to make sure basically to have a schedule. Set yourself up with a schedule. If you're a visual kind of person, put it on a nice glossy color hard copy, hang it on the wall, right? So when you look at it, you wake up in the morning, you look at it, look at your schedule. Okay, I got to do my business today at 4 till 9 p.m. Well, guess what? 4 till 9 p.m., you're going to be doing this business. That means everything else that comes to you, a phone call that you get, can we meet for a coffee, or we're coming over, or anything. Oh, we're going to go on the lake, on the boat. You want to come along? Well, no, I'm working at that time. I have a tough boss, and that tough boss is myself, right? You don't have to tell them that, but you're working. Stick to that schedule. Keep yourself accountable. Forensic box, if you have that, that'll keep you accountable, right? Make your days count, make your hours count, make your minutes count, make your seconds count, and you'd be surprised, how much more you will get done. So at this point, I'm going to pass it on to Drusilla. It's 11:59. We got 1 minute to go. So thank you very much, folks. Next week, don't be late. Be here on time, because we're going to continue. Bring your pen and paper, bring your favorite beverage, and we're going to go through these points as fast as we can. Not too fast, but I want to make sure that we deliver the value we need. So we covered until wasting time slide. And next week, we're going to follow through with the rest. At this point, I'm going to pass it on to Drusilla. See if anyone else has any question. I am here. Let's get it answered.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Reza, for an amazing 2 hours of training. As I always say, this is how we should start our Saturday morning and prepare our conversations for the weekend. So thank you so much. We all appreciate you.
Thank
All
you very
right.
much.
You're very welcome. So we have 2 questions. We have Heather says, ask, what do you mean by education, about the history or professional education? That's her question.
Education is you getting into a world that you may not be, and most likely you're not educated in, and that's called direct sales network marketing. People think they know what network marketing is. People think they know what the MLM is. People think they know what our industry is. And in reality, they don't. They have the perception of what they heard from the neighbor or uncle or father or what they heard on the news, but they have not taken the time to study what network marketing is, what DSA is, what, all that stuff is. What's the difference between network marketing and a traditional business, right? They haven't taken the time to study that. Okay. And this is where, if you're not sure about what it is that you're involved, or you have a broken information, it does not take much for someone else to come and tell you something negative, or even do better than that, show you some negative article that some schmuck sat there and tried to get themselves followers, or trying to, make money out of it. They sit there and write some stupid article about what they think network marketing is. They put it out there, and people, ignorant people who follow that individual, or weak people, they will share that out. And all of a sudden, if you're not strong in the education side of things, you will easily, it was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my. It happened to me last week. It happened to me about a week and a half ago. Okay. I had someone who comes from executive position somewhere, and decided to get started, and decided, I mean, gung ho about all areas of our business, products. She's on the product, everything, loves it. And it took one call from a family member somewhere out in Europe that has no idea what our business is all about. That's what I think, anyways. Excuse was some. This was given different reason, but I think that's what it is. Somebody, probably a family member, probably a son or daughter, whatever, told her, "Oh, no, 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 don't do that. It's illegal." Da, 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 da. I don't know what they said. They don't know the company. They don't know what we are. They don't know what we do, and they don't know what kind of product we have. But this person, because she has no idea what network marketing is, all of a sudden she was told by the loved one, "This is no good." And the loved one is also very ignorant to the fact of what this is, right? Because they have no idea what this is. How could they know what this is? And they told her not to, and all of a sudden she got all shaky because her foundation wasn't strong, the education wasn't there, and she got all rattled. She got all spooked. So education is very important. If you're looking for financial freedom, if you're looking for a secure future with this company or in this industry, period, you have to educate yourself. You're not going to go into high school, start teaching high school unless you have some training. You're not going to go ahead for a great school and start teaching in a great school unless you have some training. You agree? You're not going to put into a new job, any kind of job, even if it's a job that you're an expert in. Because I used to have almost 700 staff. Okay, unless you put them through a training. There's no difference over here. Education is your training. You want to make sure you understand what you're getting into. Tripod of Belief. It's your prosperity book, and it is on YouTube. Write it down, do some research on it, or contact me privately, and I will walk you through it just for the sake of time. But yeah, the Tripod of Belief training explains the 3 areas you need to be strong in. So I hope that helps. If not, you can contact me privately, and I'll take you through more.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for answering that question, Reza. And we have one more from Liz, and she asked, Reza, what do you do with the pictures on your vision board when you achieved it? Do you frame it or put it down somewhere and replace it with another goal?
It puts a big smile on my face. In most cases, my jaw drops. My jaw drops because when I go to my very first dream board, which comes from 30 years ago, then 20 years ago, then 10 years ago, then 5 years ago, and I put him, I look at it and oh my God, you know, if I didn't know any better, I would say this is magic. I would say this is voodoo. Like everything that I put on my vision boards, it shows the very first one. It was just a few things that as I accomplished those things, then I made the next dream board, maybe then in a bigger fashion, in a different fashion, in different ways. I put the second one. Then I look at it, oh my God, this is exactly what I wanted. Then the next one, and then the next one, and the next one. So that dream board, it does things to you. As don't make it and go hide it. I know a lot of people, I ask them. I go to their home, I say, where's your dream board? Oh, it's somewhere in the office. And I'm like, I know they're nervous now because they don't know where it is. And finally, they find it's folded under a bed or folded in the closet. No, that's not what you do with the dream board. Put it where you want to see it until you make the next one. And it just puts a smile on my face, and it shows me how powerful it is, how amazing it is for me to work on these dream boards and make sure we have fun days. We used to have fun dream board days, and everybody brings the magazines and all the stuff we need, the scissors and everything, and we make our dream boards, and we go in front of the room, present it to everyone, and the best dream board usually win prizes. So yeah, it's very important that you keep these dream boards. Do not ever throw them out, ever, 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 ever. Keep them.
Wonderful. Les is thanking you for answering that question for her.
Most welcome.
Very inspiring. And we have Ronan on the line. Welcome, Ronan. Go ahead.
Hello, thank you. And wow, LD4 Reza, you've been my mentor for 7 years. Today, you really hit it on the nail, spot on. It's so easy to see that you've invested weeks of work on this. I think the thing that impacted me the most everything was amazing, but the love yourself with the connection to let's make money. I mean, I'm going to pick up the glove on what you threw out there, and I'm going to do a training on love yourself because I think it's a great suggestion. But I want everyone to understand that there are so many people in my life that always thought that the idea is to first make the money, and because I make the money, I love myself. I want to explain to everybody it works the other way around. The second we learn how to love ourselves, and I will do a whole training on, I'm coming to you from a person that hated, not liking, hated myself for 40 years. And there are many, many reasons why that happens. Until I will train on that, remember this. This is not about the success that will make us love ourselves. It's loving ourselves that will allow us to get to our successes. And until I'll do that training, I wanted to share with everybody one tool that has allowed me in the last 15 years to truly learn how to love myself. And it's nothing to do with business of any kind. It's an amazing audio book. It's also a book, but it's an audio book that is called The Four Agreements, written by Don Miguel Ruiz and narrated by Peter Coyote. I recommend it all the time. This is an amazing tool to learn how to peel those layers and peel how we grew up and how we measure ourselves and how we see ourselves. It allows us to understand that from the day we are born, everybody's in competition with us, so they put us down. And that is why we grow doubting ourselves, not liking ourselves. And it is what I truly wanted to give today to this perfect training. I just wanted to add this little one, give you a taste of a promo, so you guys will come to this training. Thank you very, very much, Reza. It was amazing.
Thank you very much, Ronan. Thank you for being on.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Ronan. And we also have Sarah. You're unmuted. Go ahead, my dear.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Well, oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. I just want to say, Rasa and Stella and all the listeners, thank you very much. I'm always love when you're on Rasa on the training, and really, I know you're a go-getter, and I know you all of us can make us go-getter. That's only what I say. Really, it's heart touching, and I hope we practice all of it. Thank you.
Well, Sarah, thank you very much for being on the call, and thank you for listening. But you know what? These are the things, those are the little adjustments on a daily basis that makes
Absolutely.
us better and gets us to where we want to get closer. So yeah, I'm glad you found it useful. And yeah, next week we'll follow up with the rest of it.
Thank you. Okay.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Sarah. We have
Reza, can you hear me?
Hello, Tammy. How you doing?
Hey. Each day, another step forward. just wanted to say thanks again. And if anybody thinks you can't do it, you are what you think, because you're talking to a woman who literally, and you can attest to it, you saw me, I went from a wheelchair to being able to walk. Found in a life got me out of that wheelchair. It gave me the will to keep going. Thank you ever so much. I also spit in death's eye socket. I came back from the dead. Keep going, because if you think you're going to give up, why? Just do it.
Thank you very much, Tammy. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
We'll see you up on the top. Have a
Let's
good
see.
time with your kids.
Wonderful. Thank you, Tammy. And we also have Mfon on. Go ahead. I've unmuted you.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, thank you, Reza. This is Jacob from Team Nigeria.
Hello.
Thank you for, are you hearing me?
Yes, yes, we can hear you. And
Yeah, Reza, I say this is Jacob from Nigeria, Team Nigeria.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much for taking us through all the winning ways. We are very happy. You've given us a lot of knowledge, a lot of encouragement, and we hope to be like you someday. So thank you very much. We appreciate all. We cannot wrap it all, but when we sleep over it, we'll learn more from what you have taught us today. Thank you. We look forward to the next session. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Jacob. You know, I see people with I've always seen people with a lot more talent than me and so on. You know, the only thing really what kept me going and kept me evolving and getting better was, you know, focus and the fact of repetition. Just keep doing it and focusing on it and adding on to those knowledge and being organized. I mean, there's a lot of little things that make the difference, but I see people with far greater talent than I am. And the fact that they're joining this company today, not when we got started with all the bumps in the way, you know what? It's a matter of time. The top earners of this company are going to be people that, I don't know, that didn't even join this company yet, to be honest with you. That is how great the future is. That's how awesome things look. And thank you for being on the call. Yeah, let's get everyone on the call next week.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And we have one more hands up. You can go ahead. I've unmuted you. Okay, maybe it was a mistake, maybe not. Okay, thank you so much for that. I'd just like to share that all the points, it is very hard to choose, but I like the fact that you said practice success before you are successful. So that one really did stand out. There's a lot of times, and you're right, you have to have it in the mind in order to transform it and put it out there. And also focus on a few and not many. And I think that's what we usually do. For me personally, sometimes you focus on bringing in everybody and then they just come there and they sit down and they don't do anything and they're harder to work with. Not coachable. So the few that you will attract that would help you build, that's the one. So those are the few that stand out in my mind. There's lots more, but I know that you're pressing on time and that you also would have to go. Chanel also said our appreciation, appreciation for cutting the razor sharp great training. There we go. So it says a razor sharp great training for you, and you're getting lots and lots of compliments. I don't think we can go through all of them in the chat, but everyone is thanking you so much for the amazing training today. Please come back next week, as Reza said, same time, same link, same everything. So we'll see you back next week, Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Just before we go, Reza, I just want to remind everyone about the cocktail leadership call. That's tomorrow morning at 9:45 a.m. Please attend that. We have our wonderful UK leader, Stella Bassi. And Reza, we want to thank you again for myself and all of us in Opulence Global for your leadership, your contribution, constantly coming on and training us and helping us to get better. And we hope that you enjoy your day. Is there anything else that you would like to add before we finish?
My honor. I mean, I'm glad that so many people paid attention, took notes, and you know what, we're going to do the best we can to make it as easy as possible for them to be able to achieve whatever they want to achieve. Now, there's a question here. Was this call recorded? The answer is yes. When is it going to be available? I don't know. Maybe Drusilla knows when it'll be available for viewing. Do you know?
It usually takes a couple of days, so maybe Monday, Tuesday. Actually, Monday's a holiday, so let's give it Tuesday, Wednesday. As soon as it's released, I will share it in the chat for everyone to have a
Beautiful.
copy.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you very much. And yeah, you guys have yourself a great weekend. I'm going to go meet the family. I think they're already there. Maybe take the boat out and you know what? Enjoy your weekend. Stay safe. And yeah, have a great weekend, guys.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Reza. Take care. Have a good weekend also with your family. One team, one dream. To the billions, everyone. And we'll see you on the next call. Take care. Bye-bye.
Everyone.
To the billions.
To the billion.
The billion, Ronan.